sometimes it doesn't matter because they're low-level guys, but sometimes you like really have to kind of strategize, and I like that element of it. That's kind of interesting. It's yeah, I mean it's different than Subspace, and they both have their pros and cons, but World of Light's pretty fun so far.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You like it, Travis?
Yeah, I had lots of fun. We pretty much did a 24-hour stream without doing a 24-hour stream. Me and Glenn were up till 4 a.m. playing it. Like I said, when I was up at 6, so 2 hours more, I would have been up for 24 hours. So it's funny, I was not tired at all then, so it was quite fun.
Yeah, makes sense.
How did you find Lil Mac? You find him different from Smash 4?
I find him the exact same. I find just
He's pretty much the same.
His jabs going for a 0.5 seconds a bit longer, I feel. That's about it.
Okay. See, I find Link to be more like Brawl's Link, like the way he feels and moves.
I didn't play with Young.
I'm all
over
over
the
Young
Link,
Link, because Young Link's in there.
Young Link's my
He's
boy.
guy,
Oh,
Young
yeah.
Link.
My boy, boo.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun.
So yeah, we'll do games and then we'll stop the episode and then separate it because
yeah, I think it's good for
both because they're bigger.
It,
yeah, they're bigger topics, and plus, in case Spider-Man drops, we'll know within an hour. If not, then we'll just talk about that great Captain Marvel trailer. Oh, so pumped!
I actually haven't watched it yet, so I'll have to watch it before the cast.
Oh boy, you're in for a surprise. No, Kirk with fire. You ready to go, folks? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 232nd episode of the GeekVerse podcast. I'm the ultimate Travis Snell.
And Adam Harcaster, Dylan Muss.
I am...
Late.
You said ultimate because... I'm curious here. Did you say it because of Smash or because of Alliance?
Ooh, it's a twofer.
You'll never know. I guess we'll never know.
It's a triple pun.
Or I'm just ultimate.
I'm the shades too, I feel.
Those aren't shades.
My sunglasses.
Those are sunglasses? Those are like
Those aren't
working glasses.
sunglasses.
Yeah.
So they're not shades.
No, but he bought it. You believe
No,
it
I
for a second.
didn't. No.
Like, those are sunglasses?
For 4 seconds.
No.
He believed.
I said it in a way of like, yeah, right, they're sunglasses. And I'm like, don't think you bastard. Audio listeners, why are you wearing woodworking glasses?
I forgot they're up there actually. It's from my photo shoot last night, working with like steel wool and fire.
Cool.
That sounds sick.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
I was playing Smash Ultimate. So
we had to wear those exact same things, so.
Yeah.
This is the weekly cast. We're doing something a little bit different. We're doing video game news in one separate episode, and then Avengers trailer and other movie news in that separate episode.
Wow, it doesn't even name drop Captain Marvel.
Wow. We'll get to that, but just because these are both huge topics, and I think it's for certain as far as if you want to get to it, you can just click, I want to listen to this first, listen to this first. So let's get right into it. We did the video game awards watch along. That was fun. We had a good time. So if you want, you can go back watch there. You know, some good times. You know, Briggs pretending he's getting all these predictions right. You know, trying to pull out.
Some of them were legitimate, but some of them were a little iffy. And sometimes he was just big bandwagoning.
So before, because I have the list of the announcements, or before that, do we want to say anything on the winners? Also, we talked about at the watch along. Is there anything you want to add?
Red Dead kind of cleaned up. I was a little disappointed just because I would have liked to see a little bit more love thrown to some other things.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Red Dead obviously deserves it, I guess. It's a pretty fantastic game, so
yeah.
I don't know, that's really all I have to say.
I'm the same. I'm fine with winning a bunch of awards, but I found some of the awards that won didn't deserve it. I don't think it deserved Best Narrative, and I don't think it deserved Best Score either. I really enjoy the score in Red Dead, but I just feel there's other ones out there, and I just heard more hype about other ones, but I think that was the only thing that, other than God of War winning the big top two, lots of the winners were, even then like with Overcooked 2, we didn't really give that a shot because Overcooked for the family game, I felt like the hype was very low on that, but that just I wonder if Tennis and Party like split the votes and then Overcooked sneaked in there, so.
Yeah.
So I found some of the winners kind of weird this year, other than the top two, really.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Travis. He won the predictions. He had, I think, 9, right?
You had 7. You were 2 behind.
Yeah, so good job, Travis. You were on it.
Taylor with a solid 3.
I was there for fun. I was measuring points.
That Rainbow Six Siege, that was a throwaway, and you know it.
You gotta stay true to yourself.
Briggs got them all right. But yeah, if you want more thoughts on that, we kind of had a good time talking about that. So, and a fun thing, they kicked off the show with, they had Sean Lane, they had Phil Spencer and Reggie there, so I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Just because they were further. So let's talk about this big one. This is a huge staple for our podcast. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 Black Order announced exclusively for the Switch as of right now. This was met in the watch-along with much debate. This was probably our most talked about one of who's making this, what's it look. What do you guys think? Obviously, the reveal happened, then what do you guys think a few days later?
I'm super excited, obviously, because Marvel Ultimate Alliance it's a lot of fun.
It's a staple here.
Both of them, playing through them, and like, just seeing that immediately, I was like, okay, I know we're gonna get this and do a stream of it. I know I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I don't like even if it's like not as good as the other ones, I think it'll still be fun to play through.
Yeah.
And also just because we've said it before, like you got like this is the time to be making these kind of games, right? Like these movies are so popular right now. They're massive in the box office. People are talking about them. There's so much like news that happens. It's like a lot of what our newscasts are filled up with is like Marvel and DC stuff. So it's the time to do it, and so I'm just excited for that point of view. As for the reveal, obviously graphics are looking a little dated, not completely up to snuff. I'm curious what the final product will look like when you're actually playing the game. I like the cartoony style. I think that's a good fit for the game, and I like the mix of characters that they've shown so far. Looks pretty sweet. I'm really just pulling for Doctor Strange. I hope he's in there, not just for the meme, but also, Scarlet Witch is in there for like the kind of magic type, but I really want Doctor Strange. I feel like he's got to be in there. I think all the big characters from the current MCU are going to be in there, and I think he's got to be one of them considering he has his own movie. So I think he'll be in there. That's the one I'm pulling for. But other than that, I think the roster looks pretty decent from just the snippet we saw. Obviously, there's got to be at least quite a few more than that if they want to tie with the older games, and there's obviously a lot of room for DLC for this as well if they want additional fighters. So yeah.
We got 16 right now. Got Wolverine. Well, and then there's
the old games have.
Where they are, but
the old games have 30 with the DLC, don't they?
30 something like that.
I remember when me, you, and Kirkland did that fan cast, whatever. Also, go check that out. We did a Marvel Ultimate Alliance. What would our dream cast
I should pull it up. I should tweet that out. I'll tweet that out this weekend.
I forgot about that until right now.
Yeah, because we didn't include any X-Men or F4 at that point because
I can't remember. Did we do? Because we did an amount that was based on one of the games. Was it with DLC?
Well, I think we tried to find because I feel like the first game has more. I thought we kind of had an average, and I think we did 30. And I don't think
so.
We
About
did
half.
DLC. Yeah.
About half of that was shown in this trailer.
Yeah. Because you got all the Guardians there. You got Hulk. You got Nick Fury. You got the Avengers. You got Wolverine, which is a big outlier. You got some girl with red hair. I'm not sure if it's Squirrel Girl or if it's Jean Grey. They haven't really said. Lockjaw's in the main cast photo. I don't think he's gonna be a playable character, but you never know. And then you got Spidey in there. So
of course,
yeah. Taylor, what are your thoughts?
I'm very excited for this game. Me and my cousin, we just, we would hang out and it would be Ultimate Alliance. He would always want to play it. He would always play, either Wolverine, Deadpool, or his favorites. I'd always go Moon Knight.
Nice. Not Ghost Rider.
And then I saw the movie and it's like, Ghost Rider, let's go. And changed my life. But no, I'm very excited for this. I've watched the trailer like a few more times, and I just, the graphics and everything just kind of like, I've gotten used to it. I don't mind it at all anymore. And I don't know if this would be a day one purchase for me, but it's definitely one I will buy because it looks like it will be a lot of fun, and I want to experience it on the Switch. And I'm happy this is on the Switch because this is like an ideal game for multiplayer and like couch co-op. And so that's exactly what the Switch needs. Is more of those games. Yeah, exactly.
Can you actually use that?
You can use it on most games on the Switch.
Oh, that'd be so.
So as long as there's motion controls in Ultimate Alliance, then we're fine. And I really hope there's not.
Wolverine. Grab Thanos, shake him. Shake him. So for me, I'm a huge fan. I bought the remasters on PS4 this week or next week. The 24-hour stream I've almost done. The 7-hour part I have left is a pain. There's a glitch in the video and I gotta find it and edit it out. But that's coming up soon. We played that for like a solid 4 hours of the stream.
Was it? No.
I 3 to 4 hours at least. I know.
That's
because
crazy.
when I look at the video, it's just like there's a big chunk where it's just Ultimate Alliance.
It was those hours where we were getting tired. So maybe time was warping.
Yeah. So we were big fans that we've talked about for a while. We talked about wanting it. So I felt like I should be the most hyped about this. And I don't have a Switch, so it's not obviously a day one as of right now for me. But I felt like I still should have been like, oh man, I'm very excited. Where for me, it's kind of a dud. I'm not really a fan of like a few things. One, Team Ninja, they've made some good names. They've made some good games, so I got some faith there. I've not played many of them, but they have a certain style and it's hack and slash, so that's what I like. I'm not a fan of the art style whatsoever. For me, it looks like a mobile game. It looks like Wii games, not Wii U, like Wii games. And that's my thing of like, I liked it, and me and Kirk were on the same bandwagon. Like, I liked the look of the old school games where it was like almost going for, it wasn't the greatest, but almost like a CG animated look, and I liked that. Something I don't know. It's very early on. I just worry that I don't think it will be basic because the team that made it, but from the set pieces they showed, I wasn't being wowed by any of them. I don't know why they just didn't reboot it because it's such a different aesthetic. People have brought up to like if it's a continuity thing, like Nick Fury's all of a sudden black, and he's been white for the past 2 games, so it's kind of strange, So it's like I don't know why they just didn't do a full on this is new because even the characters, they all look like. Lots of them look like the movie versions, right? So it's a weird pick that they did 3. I guess it's a brand.
I didn't even think about that, and it doesn't bother me at all. Like, I don't care if there's a 3 next to the title or not.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for me. Like, I don't see any continuity necessarily between the first and second game. Like, they're just...
The actual story does have a continuity to it for, like, the...
Yeah, maybe if you played through it and pay attention to the story, but we just skip every single cutscene, so it's more just about, like, what villains are in it, not necessarily the story, and I kind of feel like that'll stand for this. I mean, maybe the first playthrough or some other playthrough I'll actually pay attention to the story and read through, but who's to say? I mean, it might be kind of boring like the other games, so...
Yeah. So I'm excited to play it. I know whether Dylan gets it or whether we all go in on it. I want this to be same thing as Smash. Like I'm gonna set aside a day and play through the entire campaign. I'm hoping it's fun. That's all I want is really as long as I'm hoping it's kind of like Dylan, you were for Spider-Verse. That once we saw the movie, you're like, okay, this aesthetic works for me. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping this is just early on that it looks a little rough, and when I get in there, I'm like, okay, this comic book and stuff. There's just some shots that it looks very dated, and to me, it's strange for a game now. I don't know if it'll ever come to the other consoles. That'll be exciting because they said 2019, but they haven't said yes or no because I remember Spider-Man right away. They're like, this is never coming, so we'll see. So when's Xbox going to get their exclusive Marvel game?
I don't know. Their eyes aren't focused on Marvel right now. There's bigger things that they're eyeballing.
Is there?
Yeah.
Bigger than Marvel?
Maybe
trucks. They're gonna have a truck on stage.
Phil is sniffing them out.
They're gonna do their own Twisted Metal, but with Marvel, like Iron Man, like that WWE Crush Hour game, right? Or
no, their eyes are set on fucking pirate games. That's what that's.
Johnny Depp's free now, so they might.
But yeah, I hope we get. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
He's gonna be in a pirate. Yeah. So I hope
he's in Fantastic Beasts.
I hope just like the other games where some of the villains can play us, they'll make a big mistake if they don't make Thanos playable. I think because he has the hype right now. I think that as long as they don't make him
like the last unlock or something.
Yeah, like don't make him have like the snap or something super powerful. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see this roster. And I hope they do the first game where maybe it's you play through the mission to unlock certain people. Like that's how you got Doctor Strange in our game, right? Or in the first game. So
yeah,
I hope.
Well, I know. I'm excited to like play through it with just the characters you start with and unlock them as you go. Whereas in the other Ultimate Alliances, we just put in the cheat codes or whatever and just unlock them all at the start.
And X-Men still honestly surprised me a bit that they're in there. So Dylan, yours Doctor Strange. What would be your one pick to hope that someone's in here that you haven't seen?
I mean, my true pick is Songbird, but that's so unrealistic that my realistic pick is going to be Doctor Strange.
I hope there's some random picks in there, though. That was always great about the other games. There's just some characters like a Moon Knight, like Songbird. Like, these guys don't have a TV show, a movie. They're not popular at all, but it's like, no, we're putting him in there. So.
Was Daredevil in the trailer?
No, he wasn't, but he was in the first 2. That's the one I'm pulling for. I really want Daredevil to get some love. So that's what I'm pulling for, even though he's not even one of my favorites. Him or, I don't know, more villains. I'd like a Loki.
I feel like them throwing a Black Order title in there is them insinuating that you'll get to fight these villains and probably get to unlock them as playable characters.
I think at least Thanos you can play as, I would think. And he fits, like, he's just a big bruiser kind of character, right?
I don't need the rest of the Black Order to play as.
I'd play as Maw. That guy's fucking cool.
100%.
Honestly, I'd play all of them. I think they're all pretty cool. The guy with the big like chain axe, and then the girl with like the blades and stuff.
Yeah. My true pick is probably I'm going Daredevil, but I want Loki because he was in both games and they never made him playable characters. I think there could be some fun with other like. I guess you got Witch and Doctor Strange already, so you're like your spell people, but...
We saw... What were the bosses? We saw Sandman as one of the fights.
We saw Sandman, Green Goblin, the X-Men Sentinels,
right.
I think there was maybe... he wasn't in a boss fight, but they showed Kingpin, so...
Right, they
in
did,
this game, so... Yeah, I'm excited. I am excited to see more.
Was Kingpin either of the other games?
No, I don't.
Because they kind of had like more big, powerful guys.
No, I don't think so. No data as of right now. 2019. Not sure.
You commented quickly on the developers, they made one of the Ninja Gaiden games.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden. They're alive. They
recently made Neo.
Yeah.
So I'm excited because of Ninja Gaiden 1 is like, you know, a classic hack and slash sort of game, and then Neo obviously is just like a. Yeah, it's Samurai, you could say it's based off hack and slash, but it's kind of based off the Soulsborne sort of gameplay. So I'm excited for it because that makes me think it'll have maybe a little more depth to it.
Yeah.
A little more replayability, and yeah, I'm excited. For sure.
Yeah, and what I say is give me costumes. That was my biggest complaint. The second one, they would sometimes only have 1 or 2 costumes.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah. The first one they all had 4. I want that. I want some choices, you know. So
they gotta make costumes.
Yeah. After that, Far Cry New Dawn was revealed. Obviously, they teased us beforehand.
Uh-huh.
I don't really have much to say. I've said this before. Maybe this one outstanding, but Far Cry is the classic GeekVerse. We're like, that looks good, but none of us never buys it.
Yeah, it's never at the top of our priority list. It's always like 3 or 4 down, and then by the time it's out, like a couple other games have snuck up there, and it gets pushed out.
It's like if this was our job, we got sent copies, we'd definitely try it out and play it, but it always gets the shelf. But I'll agree with maybe someone else in this cast that I wasn't in love with actually when I saw the gameplay. Usually Far Cry trailers are pretty fun and out there and good cinematics, and this was just like, okay, it looks a bit more like Far Cry 5, a little less like, I think, political, but yeah, this one actually didn't do it for me, so not much for me to say on New Dawn.
Yeah, I think for me the one I'd be most interested in playing is still Primal, just because it was very unique and something that a lot of other games aren't doing, whereas the other Far Cry games, other games are kind of doing the similar exploration and setting and stuff. Yeah, this one I agree, it didn't really do it for me. It looks nice, graphics and stuff, but it pretty much just looks the same as 5 for me, right? It doesn't look different enough. Whereas Primal, when that was announced and shown, I was like, oh, this looks really interesting. It's very different, and it was like really distinct. Whereas this just kind of feels like, oh, you know, we have this like system and engine built from Far Cry 5. We can reuse it and change some things, maybe make new locations and stuff, and you know, sell a new game. And yeah, I don't know. It's probably it'll just pass by. I won't be playing this one for sure.
Yeah.
I think I have Far Cry 4 like from a Steam sale or something, just chilling, and I haven't played that one yet. So
that one I think did pretty good. I think it was pretty popular.
I think they're all like that, right?
It's a big brand. That's
they're all like pretty good.
That's why when you said it's coming out in February, I don't really worry for Far Cry. I worry for the other games because I think Far Cry is a pretty established brand and it has its fans, right? It's not as big as Fallout and Bethesda, but I feel like those Far Cry fans, like they show up and that game's always in the top when it comes out. It's like in the top 1 or 2. Like those people buy those games. That's why.
And I feel like they're like, for the people that play them, like they're good games, like they're well made. So even though this one feels like it's coming out kind of soon, I don't know, maybe this one will be the one where they kind of cheapen out or something, but it seems like they take their time with these games and don't release it until they're happy with it.
Yeah.
I can't say too much on it because I like Assassin's Creed and they do the same thing with Assassin's Creed. But again, it's one of those things where Ubisoft just has different studios around the world working on their own games to just release, and they time it, you know, it happens to be year after year, so I mean...
Do you think this one looks different enough, like something like an Odyssey or an Origins, where that's like really different for Assassin's Creed? Do you feel the same thing for New Dawn?
No. I feel like the only thing...
Because it is, right? It's like a post-apocalypse sort of, but yet it's not like arid, like it's still very lively.
Yeah,
I feel like
it just looks like an empty town instead of a post-apocalyptic.
It looks like it could play off as more like an expansion for Far Cry 5.
100%.
Odyssey felt completely like a new game. It still does with everything they've done. But I mean, Far Cry 5, seeing that reveal, and even so, like, I still want to go back and play it. I still think it looks like a great game. It looks fun. I've seen gameplay for it. It looks awesome. But this, I mean, especially now that they've dropped that February like release date for me, like the trailer didn't have much going for it. I loved it when like the dog jumped in the car and they were driving. That was fun. But
are you saying that like because you're buying Anthem, right?
Anthem is my February game.
So my thing is though, if you weren't buying Anthem, I still don't think you would buy this though.
No, I wouldn't, because it's. I mean, again, Far Cry isn't my series, but like you said, there are those Far Cry fans that will be there and they'll buy it. But I mean, other than that, there's Kingdom Hearts 3.
I'm pulling up right now. You got Jesus, all in a 5-day span. Anthem, Metro, Left Alive, and Crackdown 3. And then now, Far Cry doesn't have a date here. I'll find out.
It's February, I think it's 14th or 19th.
So it's literally a week before all those other games. So February is...
And for me personally, the game I mentioned a few times, Outward, is another kind of open world exploration game that I'm super excited for. That comes out a week before Far Cry as well. So February, that's my game for February already. That one I know I'm going to be supporting those guys because it seems like an awesome team and it looks like a really cool game.
Trials Rising as well.
See, I'd really like to talk to like a really hardcore like Far Cry fan, like who and just kind of say, okay, like you're a Far Cry fan, but there's all these other good games too. Is there anything like pulling you or swaying you from getting this Far Cry?
Because but I think it's the same with you in Assassin's Creed. They go, nope. The same thing.
Yeah, but I'm weird though. I mean, talk to like a normal Far Cry fan.
I don't think so.
Far Cry fans are weird too.
Yeah, and the other thing is though, I think there's a chance they take that month because the thing is, Crackdown 3 and Anthem, those both heavily rely on reviews. I think and word of mouth because Crackdown 3
and Crackdown's also
it's technically
exclusive.
Free as well on
Game Pass.
Most people have Game Pass.
But with Anthem, I think that's people are excited. But I think which we'll talk about.
Is Crackdown 3 free on release with Game Pass?
Yeah, day one.
I forgot about that. That's so dumb.
Did you hear what Phil Spencer said? They're trying to get that on every device, so eventually they might want to put that on PlayStation. And there's that people are thinking they might get out of the console business. So if that happens,
what do you mean?
We went more. So like they might just become more of a developer instead of a physical.
Really?
Yeah. He wants it on like Nintendo and PlayStation. So.
Nintendo. Honestly, like if it came down to it and I was literally just stuck with like buying one console that had everything, I'd be happy with that. Like it would end this whole war thing.
It's called the PS4.
It does. Honestly, it does end the war.
Honestly, if PS4 gets like Halo and all this other stuff, and I can just just have the one
Nintendo
console,
too.
like I
Nintendo's never given up. It'll never be one console.
No.
But you could get Master Chief on Smash one day.
Cool.
It happen. Or Marcus Phoenix. Anything else on
I don't want Far Cry?
No, me either. The only thing I have to say is we didn't say at the beginning. I gotta show the Game Awards for having a good show because last year we did it and maybe the games just weren't for us, but I felt this show was paced better and the announcements were big. To me, this was its biggest year and established it as like another.
You gotta watch this.
Now. So I forgot to say at the beginning, but I loved the show overall. I thought it was really good. There's maybe some slow parts in the award placement announcements were weird.
Yeah, I felt like there wasn't a big highlight on a lot of their awards. Like there was maybe 5 or 6 that they had, a special announcer come out on stage and present it, and those were obviously well done. They had big actors and stuff like that. But for a lot of the awards, they kind of just like bundled 5 into like a minute very quickly. Mm-hmm. So Travis is dying over there.
I got a cloth though, so it's covering up for that.
But yeah, it felt like maybe. I don't know, maybe they just kind of brushed past a lot of them, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, I look at it and I say, okay, they brushed it aside. What did they brush it aside for? Big announcements, and those are more interesting anyway, right? So
yeah, and I think this year, they just had a wider scope of, like, there was a game I was excited for, there was a game, I think Taylor probably Anthem, Dylan, like, I felt like there was more. Last year I felt they hit specific groups hard, where last year for me it was like I was not one of those groups, you know, so... anything to add on Hades? That game came out by Super Giants. New game is in early access. I got nothing to say.
That was the kind of dungeon crawling Diablo 3 looking game.
That one there.
Yeah. It. I don't know what to say. It looked very similar to the Diablo sort of top down, clicking dungeon crawler sort of thing, which is fun. I guess it's got an audience. I'm sure it'll do well. It's from a reputable studio. Not for me, personally.
I don't know. I like of all the Blizzard's games, I'm definitely not super into Diablo. Like I played it, and it just wasn't really for me. But I mean, this one looks fun. I definitely don't mind like the overhead kind of like play style, game mechanic, and I don't know. I could definitely see myself playing this at some time in the future, but I definitely don't think I'll be buying it.
Right.
Did they say what it was for? Is it like for Switch, or I could definitely see myself trying on Switch.
I don't have that information here.
Okay.
No, I thought you were gonna.
No, that's
it. Taylor, Anthem.
Anthem, yes.
They debuted a new trailer.
Yeah, honestly, it's just looking better and better and better. I honestly don't know anything about this story or like what I'm going to be learning with this game, and that's what has me just so captivated to just get into this world and try it out. I love seeing just what I've seen before, just how you can go from land, sea, to air, just jump through all 3, and it's just all one fluid, consistent kind of flow without like loading screens. I love that. I don't know, I think it's so cool just to be, I got serious Lost Planet vibes from that trailer, and to me that's a good thing, because Lost Planet was fantastic.
The movie?
The games,
okay.
1 and 2. But yeah, this game honestly is a day one purchase for me. I was so excited. I remember when they announced it back a few E3s ago. I went to EB Games the next day. I was like, I like to pre-order this, and the teller's like, I don't know what that is. We can't pre-order it. I'm like, well, it was at E3. She's like, I didn't watch it, so I couldn't pre-order it.
You didn't watch it? Wow.
Yeah, I know. So I pre-ordered it like a few months ago, and it's safely secured on a receipt somewhere.
Don't lose that receipt.
I won't. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say on it.
Yeah, just not a game for me. You know, me and Briggs, we don't. We have similar movie tastes. We don't have similar game tastes.
Not at all.
We both looked at each other and were like, "That didn't look good." And yeah, it's just not doing it for me. It's not my type of game. It's not the games I like. But even then, it's just. I remember the first Xbox reveal. I liked it, but then everything I've seen there, I don't think it's a bad game. Just nothing interests me. It looks very action-y, generic-y. It does look like an Xbox game, I'll give them that. Like, it has that vibe, and for me, I'm not a fan of what Xbox has been doing, so yeah, it's not for me. I hope it's fun. Maybe it's a sleeper hit, and people are like, you really gotta try this game, but I'm a big story guy, and the story looks pretty null, so who knows. I'm excited to talk to you when you play it.
Let me ask you something. So, does Tyler play and enjoy Destiny? Is he like, he hasn't played it?
No, he hasn't.
So is he just not really kind of fan of that kind of style of game,
like first-person shooters?
Well, like cooperative, like 4-player, kind of like. Although I can't really remember what the term is for this game. Is it just like 4-player co-op? I don't want to say they have like raids and stuff, but that kind of like game style.
I don't think he is necessarily opposed to that, but I think a big thing, like for me and him actually, a lot of those kind of games, like our interest in them is like if we're both into it and we're both gonna play it together, then that's a big selling point for us. So I don't know, maybe he brought it up or something point, but I was never particularly interested in it.
He does love mech suits though, Titanfall. You know?
He loves mech suits.
This one's not getting them.
And I mean Destiny, right? Like made from the old Halo devs, and he loved the Halo games back in the day. I'm not sure why Destiny didn't interest him in particular. And I don't really know why Anthem isn't particularly for him either.
Maybe they need bigger mech suits.
Oh yeah, that's
Titanfall size than he's sold.
I'll be honest, I forgot that they had a trailer at the Game Awards, so clearly it wasn't memorable for me. Yeah, I thought Anthem, the reveal of it was a great reveal. It's just there's so many other things at this particular Game Awards that I was like, damn, that looks like that's something I gotta get. So yeah, I kind of just brush Anthem to the side, I suppose. Yeah.
June 21st, Crash Team Racing. My goodness, there was rumors about this last week. I'm pumped. If you're a longtime fan, you know I'm a big Crash fan. I bought Crash Remastered day one. Spyro, I'll get to you at some point. But Crash is my guy. You know, I'm not saying I like him more than Mario or anything like that, but he was just fun. He's PlayStation's original logo. And Crash Team Racing, I'm not playing well, so it could have the Diddy Kong effect, but I remember being such a huge fan of that. It's probably my favorite racing game. It's just so wacky and wild, and they use that world to its benefit. Lots of great aesthetics, lots of fun items, so I'm really pumped. This is probably a day one for me. This is one that I want to add in our Gauntlet Gaming League. Yeah, I'm just excited. It looked beautiful, very much like what they did with the last Crash remaster. So this is everything I want. I've been wanting this game for a while, so I'm pumped. This isn't even a game that I could be playing online because I just have so much fun. I remember I like this more than Mario 64 because I think Mario Kart 64 is a terrible game, but it's not a terrible game. I just feel it's so janky now when we play it. It's like
pretty janky now.
Double Dash is the pristine, but Crash Team Racing I was pumped. So I'm so excited for June.
Yeah, it looks like fun. The graphics are, I mean, it looks just like the Crash remaster, which is really well done. You know, really it pays homage to the like art style of the original game, but looks really good and updated, just like the Spyro game as well. I'm excited to try this one because I never played this game back in the day.
Yeah, they're fun.
I've never played a Crash game. I've never played. Yeah, that includes Crash Racing. I always lean towards Spyro a bit more, I guess. Even then, I didn't play Spyro back in the day.
He didn't have a racing game.
Huh? Spyro didn't?
No.
Oh wow.
Spyro Team Racing.
Aren't like Spyro and Crash, they're not like part of the same universe or something, are they? They're just two separate.
They're just on PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
They were just those classic games to play back in the day as a kid.
Okay. No, this game it looks fun, but when I was watching it, I was just thinking like, is this like reskin Mario Kart 8 or something? Like I could feel a really big difference.
I think you will when you play it. When you get in there, you'll feel a difference.
Okay.
Cool.
Next was a big one, The Outer Worlds, brought to you by Obsidian, maker OG of Fallout, makers of Fallout New Vegas. Also, we'd heard about this one for a little while. This one is not the one that's going to be, we presume, exclusive for Xbox. This one is all consoles. It's a first-person shooter RPG. Dylan, you want to take it away with this one?
Yeah, I am incredibly excited for this. Fallout New Vegas is my favorite of the new era Fallout games. And that's because, it's because of Obsidian being behind it. They truly aim to make RPGs, and that is shown so well in New Vegas that the decisions you make, the choices and the way you build your character really have an impact on the world and the story and the characters. It's not something that they just say; they actually do it, and it's always really well done. So I'm really excited for this game because I've seen what they've done firsthand, and I know they're good at it. And this time, I think Fallout New Vegas was interesting because they were they were both held back and had advantages because of it being like through Bethesda, and obviously they had Fallout 3's like engine and game to work off of. And they kind of made new assets and areas and stuff like that, so they had something to like a basis to work from. But they also had a lot of strict timings from when they had to release it, and Bethesda was apparently not a great like publisher to work with for them. It wasn't a great team up, and that's why we haven't seen them work together again. So I'm really excited for them to. This seems like something that is in the likes of like they learned a lot from making something based off of a Bethesda game in terms of how they want to make something big and open world. It seems like it has kind of elements from Fallout. It seems like it has elements of like very sci-fi heavy, obviously on another planet.
It feels like a hybrid or like an evolution of what they're working on.
Yeah, exactly.
A grade up, hopefully. But that's what on the surface it looks like. So,
So the story and world looks like a lot of fun. The city town areas, but also the big wild areas. There's lots of different cool enemy types. So it looks like it looks like a very much inspired by things they learned from making Fallout New Vegas, but just taken with their own, like they can just go in whatever direction they want to go. They're not held back by being forced by certain time constraints or other things by Bethesda. So I'm really excited for this game. This is likely a day one purchase for me unless I hear things that are really bad about it. But I'm so excited to play this game. This was a very big surprise for me. I was expecting whenever we heard about this Obsidian game that it was going to be part of this Xbox deal. So I'm very excited that I can play this on my PlayStation 4.
Yeah. So clearly, because we were trying to figure out, we were talking about that weeks ago when they purchased them, what the process was, and to me this felt like this was a recent purchase. This wasn't a like, hey, make this game for us. This was they're finishing up this game, and then after that, I would assume that they're gonna make a game for Xbox, whatever Game Pass. So this kind of fits that timeline of they were working on something for everybody, but now they're gonna be. And that will be big for them if this game hits the way. Like we hope it does in their track record. That's a big purchase for Xbox if they are making exclusive games for them after Outer Worlds.
Yeah, so. And I don't get the feeling that this is going to be like a first Xbox thing because they likely would have had that in the trailer.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe for like some downloadable content on the line, maybe they do some like Xbox you can get on Xbox first. Yeah. So hopefully they don't do that. But I don't know. Right now, I'm just happy that I don't need an Xbox to play this because. I wouldn't buy an Xbox just for one game. It's just not worth the money, even if it is a really sick game. Yeah. And unfortunately, there's nothing else on Xbox I'd be really wanting to play. So yeah, I'm really happy that this is coming to all consoles. Looks fantastic.
I felt like the whole tone of this trailer was just screaming like a Borderlands 2 kind of vibe, which I was loving. It just felt super fun, very, very fast paced. Just a game that I definitely will probably want to like dabble into and try out, especially because
want to dabble into.
I'm not between Fallout and Elder Scrolls. I'm an Elder Scrolls kind of guy. I don't join the Fallout kind of bandwagon. I skipped over Fallout 4 and 76. So this feels like it's something for those fans that aren't into the Fallout kind of franchise. I feel like this is something like that at least I can kind of jump into and partake in. So I'm looking forward to seeing more about this. And this is a game you said comes out?
Yeah. February? Well, like I said, I don't.
No, the game.
I don't think I'd like February.
Well, didn't you say like outer something or?
No, he said Outer Realm.
I believe it's. I believe I was looking at it online. It said like mid to late 2019. So it'll be a while yet.
If this was Feb, wow.
That would be heavy for February. But that's the thing. I don't think the reason I like Fallout New Vegas is because it's a Fallout game. I like it because of Obsidian making RPGs. So that's that's the exciting thing for sure.
Yeah, for myself, I love RPGs. I trust Dylan Musk is a good game critic. I like what I saw. I think you're right with the Borderlands, the Fallout.
Well, it's not just me. Like almost every Fallout fan prefers like the style of New Vegas, right?
Yeah.
And those elements of RPG.
I like that it's a mix of you got your Fallout, your Borderlands 2. It's also feeling a lot like, even though the game's not out yet, it's Cyberpunk 2077. Kind of had those vibes as well.
Sci-fi, yeah.
So this might be in the rage category of if it goes really well. I really like what I saw. I am unfortunately disappointed that I think it might just be first person. That's not been confirmed yet. It's being called first person, but lots of people say you could have the option. If there's an option, this is probably could be a day one for me because the trailer was just really well paced. I like as far as same thing as actually having a choice and that like KOTOR is one of my favorite games. So I liked everything I saw. I'm just hoping if it's first person, it's a game that I could likely make the exception for because I really like, but that takes my excitement out a little bit just because the way I play it. So I got my fingers crossed for a third person, but I don't think it's gonna happen because that trailer seemed pretty first person.
I mean, there wasn't any gameplay, right? I mean,
wasn't there a few shots of them shooting and whatnot?
None of it was from first person though, was it?
Yeah, there was. I watched it today to try and make sure. I can quickly pull it up.
I know there was shooting, but I don't recall any from like you seeing the gun being held like that. I could be wrong.
I thought it was.
Well, I know there's that one cutscene where your character's holding the gun and you like shoot him in the head. But I took that more as like a particular cutscene where you're from that character's point of view. Maybe that could mean that's how the game is played. But I mean, in Fallout, obviously you can switch between first and third person. So. But
that could be a thing when we're talking about two restraints and whatnot. That could be a thing where they went to them, hey, we want this in the game. Where now on their own, they might be, well, we just want to focus on first person. So. That
You mean Microsoft saying that to them?
No. I don't think Microsoft has anything to do with this.
What do you mean restraints?
He means
like when they were making Fallout New Vegas.
That was already built into the game of Fallout,
yeah.
And maybe Bethesda's like, you got to keep this. I don't know. I don't know exactly how much control like Bethesda had over little things like that. I don't know if it's something they'd even want to change because why not? If it's already built into the engine of the game, why not keep it? Right? It's player options.
I feel like it's something that kind of comes with most games nowadays. I mean, like even like Star Wars Battlefront, you can switch between first and
but
third,
then you even have people like who made The Witcher though. Cyberpunk's coming out, that's full first person, right? And I would have never thought that after they just did The Witcher. Yeah, see, there's quick shots. It's very Mike. Very quick shots of first person.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but that's what I mean. They're quick. So that. As far as action scenes, you're going to want to show that in first person, right? Because usually that is the most effective. I like third person, but I feel like for trailers and whatnot. So I'm hoping, but everything else I saw, but if it's first person, it's a game I might wait a little bit for. But it looks great. Yeah. I'm very excited for it.
I don't know. I think that's a good format for a game like this when you don't have a voiced protagonist and you have like just the player is creating the character. I think it's good to be in the eyes of that character. So. Yeah.
Like I said,
I'm a fan of first person.
I think for me, I'm making it's not that I'm not a fan. It's just not my preferred way. My favorite games have always been third person, but for me also it's release date. If this comes out of time, that's a good time for me. There's not much out there. Then for me, the first person will not matter because get it. If this is coming out during
February.
Yeah, during one of those times where I have a bunch of games, but I'm not sure. I have to look. We haven't recorded our 2019 game preview, but for me right now, it's pretty light. I don't know. We just mentioned 3. I don't.
Drops the same day as Crash Racing. What do you do?
I would wait to see because Crash Racing I would buy, but that's not a game I need to sink 40 hours in, right? And be like, I want to get invested in the story. It's like I'll play a couple races, then I'll go play Outer Worlds. I get and Crash Team Racing, it's a day one, but I don't legit need a day one. I know what the game is. It just looks prettier, So, Hello Games is making The Last Campfire. I got nothing to say because I don't remember that.
I don't remember that. I have a tweet here from them. The Last Campfire is a Hello Games short. Like Pixar shorts, it's a way to foster creativity and new voices in the studio. So this is made by 2 people from Hello Games. So
that's cool.
A smaller game, probably pretty story driven, pretty atmospheric, kind of like more of an experiential game, which we've seen a lot of lately. So that's the kind of vibe I get from it. I think it's cool from that point of view. However, the game itself, like the demo, that was the one where there was like these 2 little kind of figures in a boat going along this river. Right. You remember that?
So Lord of the Rings 5.
Yeah, you were getting the major Lord of the Rings back from it. I don't know.
I forgot about that. Lord of the Rings vibes.
Those experiential games are interesting because I've never really felt like I need to play those ones. as soon as they release. I can just play them sometime down the line. Maybe they go on sale, pick it up and play through it.
Yeah.
It's not one that I need to get day one. And I don't even know if that's necessarily, like, obviously their last game was No Man's Sky. This is it's a very different type of game, and they're not going to advertise or push it like they did No Man's Sky. It's just something.
Let's hope not. You're gonna find.
So I think this is cool. It's an interesting idea. If it's a short, I'm guessing it'll be a cheap game, maybe $10, $15, maybe $20 the maximum.
$79.
Yeah, if it's $79, fuck you, Hello Games. You've made one big mistake before, and you redeemed it. Don't throw away all that favor that you've bought over the last couple of years working hard.
That's the thing that excites me is No Man's Sky is rebuilding, and if this hits, even if it's just a small, like, short with 2 people, that helps the brand name. So I'm excited to see them kind of keep trying to make this comeback and try to, I always have a good underdog story. So
That game's called The Last Campfire, by the way. I don't know if I said that.
I did say that as well.
There you go.
Yeah, no, you don't remember other than not Lord of the Rings? You're just
No, I got the Mines of Moria doors open up in that trailer, and they're on the boats going through stuff and
going through stuff.
Whose boat was it?
There's a lot of boat action.
Yeah, they heard us. Jeff Keighley was like, I got 0 on this PUBG expansion. I don't play PUBG.
Nope. Skip it.
I don't really have much, so I will say, like, every time I want to talk to Tyler, and specifically it happened at this moment when it was a commercial for PUBG, and he was just so enveloped in it, and Kurt was trying to talk to him, and he just seems so upset. And
Briggs is not good at multitasking.
No, I will give him the credit. He does look at you and say, I didn't listen to a thing you said. Like, okay. And I'm like, I'm just not going to repeat
I've often had to ask him questions multiple times for him to register the question, and then remind him so that I can get the answer.
So as we
he'll talk about it on the next cast, I'm sure.
Yeah, as we were speaking about it earlier, Xbox and their pirates. Studio Wildcard announces Atlas, MMO survival game with pirates and also dragons. Maps 12 times the size of Ark server. Comes to Xbox next year.
12 times the size of Ark?
12,000 times.
12,000 times?
Yeah, that's
the size of what? Shit.
A time of an Ark server.
Ark's a pretty big map.
It's all French to me, so.
Is that the same studio?
I don't know. Studio Wildcard announced that.
Does that be like just a weird thing to throw out? Just one particular game.
Yeah.
It must be because Ark is a pretty popular MMO right now.
Yeah.
So.
I thought it was the whole time me and Briggs were wrong. Again, we were on the same wavelength this one. I thought it was going to be Sea of Thieves. It was not. Looks fun enough, but it's still not.
This is Xbox exclusive, yeah?
Yeah. It's still not the pirate games I'm looking for. Taylor asked on the stream, what pirate game are you looking for? Just something that is like a whole adventure. It feels like these pirate games are always focusing on one thing. The kind of dragons.
You wanted a Black Flag pirate game.
Well, kind of.
You want something with like a more linear narrative.
Yeah, or like I said, I want Disney pump out, make a good Pirates of the Caribbean game, but make it like Knights of the Old Republic style, where it has nothing to do with Jack Sparrow. It's just in this world and it's on adventure. I want to be a pirate. I'm a cowboy right now. I'm waiting to be a Jedi again. So this looked fun enough, but I will not touch this game.
I think it looks pretty cool, actually. It looks like Sea of Thieves, but kind of bigger and better. Very similar art style. So I also was in the bandwagon thinking it was Sea of Thieves at first. But it kind of looks like it has a little more kind of high fantasy themes to it as well. With obviously there's some castles and there's some dragons and stuff like that. I thought it did look like fun. And very similar to Sea of Thieves, but because of its exclusivity, I won't be playing it. But this is another one like Sea of Thieves where I watched some streams of it to get a vibe of what it's like. It's weird that these are the kind of exclusives Xbox going after. Just like another pretty much the same thing. Like, Xbox, a lot of shooters, that's like their thing. They're like, okay, we have a new exclusive for you. It's a pirate game. And then their next exclusive, pirate game. So
they're like really hoping it picks up.
I don't know. It's kind of a strange decision from them, but I guess they're trying to claim monopoly on that market. So if you're a pirate fan, I guess the Xbox is for you.
Taylor? As the resident pirate fan?
I have Game Pass, so I download Sea of Thieves for free.
Thank goodness. I remember folks, there was a time where Taylor's like, I don't know if I'm going to get Game Pass. I don't know if it's worth it. $10.
It was they had a free month promotion, then after that was like $1 for a month. I was like, I can't say no to that, so I ended up doing it. I just haven't canceled
$1 for a month.
Yeah. For how long?
$1
How was this profitable?
I think it was like $1 for 1 month or 3, I can't remember. But that's what got Kyle into it. He was like, he wasn't sure if he was going to buy Call of Duty, but then he saw GameSpot was $1 for the month, and it had Forza already on there, so he went with that.
Oh, why are they making that?
But no,
I wonder whether to stop making consoles.
I downloaded Sea of Thieves, but ever since I downloaded it, I updated it, but I have not opened it up once. I've just been playing other games, so it's there, so I know it's there.
You always have a lot of games on the go, so it's hard.
I do. It's so upsetting, but it's
Is Atlas gonna be one of those games?
Skull and Bones is already up there. I got like
this,
3
I
games
would play this over Skull and Bones any day.
That Kraken in that trailer. Oh my god. No, I got so many pirate games to just put under my flag right now, and
nice. A flag flag?
Yeah. But no, I definitely. That was great. What are you shaking your head for?
Dylan saved you on that one. Don't take credit for that.
No, I definitely did not feel like it was at all connected with Sea of Thieves. Like it definitely could have passed for it, but it had much more detail to it, and the whole like the game mechanic and the animation of it seemed completely different in that sense. And especially when they dropped the dragons and everything, that was completely out of character for Sea of Thieves. Just kind of, like.
I just thought they were going big maybe this year, you know? They knew Sea of Thieves underperformed big time. They're doing the No Man's Sky. Like, let's get it in people's hands and start talking up. But no one's playing Sea of Thieves.
This game definitely does look very enticing, and I definitely, after I eventually play Sea of Thieves, I'll play this pirate game. But I'm not gonna say I'm willing to put money down on it, but I have a strong feeling that we see this game getting delayed at least once.
At least, okay. Taylor told you so? Or
these pirate games tend to have that kind of a trend.
Okay. Bioware teases Dragon Age 4. I'm the worst person to ask because I never played Dragon Age, even though it might be a game that interests me, and I didn't even know it was Dragon Age. So clearly they're showing some imagery during the stream. I had no idea.
It was a teaser.
Yeah.
So
I thought Jessica was a Dragon Age fan. I may be mistaken.
Maybe, but
she wasn't there, so
yeah, I didn't have her to go off of. Stranger Things game being made. It's like a 16-bit looking co-op game. Not for me. If I want it looks fun enough, but if I want a Stranger Things game, I was very excited when Telltale was talking about doing it. I thought that would have been fun, but obviously they are no more. If not, I'd like something a bit grander. This feels a bit small.
This looks exactly like the free phone game I downloaded like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it just feels small for Stranger Things, which is arguably next Game of Thrones, maybe the biggest TV show in the world right now. So it's kind of strange.
Yeah, I agree. Like I don't know. Other than this looks exactly like the phone game I have of Stranger Things, which was just some random free download. I don't know. Like, is this coming to consoles or is this another phone game? I'm kind of.
They were very unspecific because it's still ways away. They said this is after season 3, but season 3 is they haven't even announced when that's coming out. So, and I guess
seems like a really weird announcement. There.
I guess I got excited too because they said it was gonna be a continuation of the story of season 3. But then when they went to this, it looks very basic. There's not gonna be actual much story there or anything. So when they talk about that first, like, okay, this could be fun as it go. Okay.
I wouldn't say it looks very basic. I feel like
but I mean, like, you're not gonna get
potential to go into a lot of different story aspects because it's not
it's gonna be what you like lore and just like you read logs.
But I feel
this doctor worked at the lab for 8 years.
I feel like they tackled like a good kind of choice with this by keeping it like simple with the 8-bit kind of play style, and I think that allowed
16.
Oh, okay, 16. I feel like then they could have the opportunity to focus on a whole bunch of different other options, like focusing it more on like a heavy story driven kind of aspect and stuff like that. But personally, I probably get this because obviously my significant other, she likes Stranger Things and she thought this is pretty cool. And
what if it's $70?
Yikes.
She liked Spyro when she bought it, so she likes this. She'll probably buy it too.
Spyro's the man though.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I don't know why. Like I don't mind games having like a number with them, but they call it Stranger Things 3. I feel like they should just call it Stranger Things because I looked at it, I'm like, where are the other 2 Stranger Things games? Do I have to play the mobile ones to understand this? Yeah.
On your phone. Where is this other announcement here? Last 2, Mortal Kombat 11 comes April 23rd. Great cinematic trailer. They always deliver there. I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan, but I've not played the last. I played the last one with my friends when I was there. Played a bunch of DLC. That was fun. That's just one of your OG classic games. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I don't know if I'll buy it because we were saying this on the stream. This seems the same as Far Cry. For me, it's a game that could come out and I'd love to buy, but it's always during something. That was the same with Injustice. And I'm not the biggest fighting game fan, so throw down the $80 nowadays. It's not that I'm not a fan. It's just I'm a fan of bigger, like, other genres more. So that's the thing. I do like the Mortal Kombat games a lot. They're my bread and butter. I love, there's a DC Mortal Kombat game in there somewhere, and it's great. And the trailer was great, so maybe I'll see what's happening in April, but it's kind of 50-50 for me, but it looks good, and I think the fans of that series will be happy with this game, so.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, Mortal Kombat's not one of those, like, top-tier fighters that every time it comes out, it has its fan base, people play it. And, yeah, Mortal Kombat's really cool. When I was at EVO, I was watching a lot of the Mortal Kombat players and the streams going on. It was really interesting. It was kind of more interesting to me than the Street Fighters or Soul Calibers or anything else that's chilling there. So Mortal Kombat's always been cool, but I don't know. I've never been big into like traditional fighting games. For me, it's always been more about Smash. So it's hard for me to justify like a full price game on these Mortal Kombat games because I know I'm not likely won't invest tons of time into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's one I always like to try these new fighting games if I can find somewhere to play it. It's always fun to give them a try. This one, I don't know. I can't say what looked new in this one. It was kind of more of a teaser as well. It was kind of just more of an announced trailer more than anything. So it's hard to say what's new. I guess there's a new costume for that one guy. So that's cool for the fans.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I must have played Mortal Kombat games sometime in my past.
I imagine, yeah.
Honestly, I do remember when they showed like the trailer for Predator and Alien dropping as characters. That was super cool, and that I remember that day I thought, okay, I'm gonna buy this Mortal Kombat. But I think when I looked into it, there were so many different Mortal Kombats, I didn't know which one they were in. So I ended up not getting it. I feel like what you said, it's very much like the Far Cry scenario where it's just out at the wrong time, and it's probably gonna be other stuff to play. So. As cool as this one looks, I definitely am not opposed to trying it. Yeah, it's just it's that kind of fighting game though that I'm not super into. Like I love Marvel vs. Capcom, I love Smash, I love Soul Calibur, but I never really got into like the Mortal Kombat, Street Fighters, or any of those kinds, or even like Injustice. So, yeah.
Last biggest announcement, unless you guys did anything else, Smash is getting a Persona DLC. Joker, I'm very offended there's just a popular character named Joker also in the world. But it's coming. This is another classic Smash disappointment for me with DLC. There's so many ones I'm like, I don't know who this is, or I don't have much fan base for him. But you know what, I know people are excited, so good for that. But there's part of me that is like sad because okay, we got 4 more, and now you're just going Waluigi. I want something else. And Dill maybe called this, we talked about this a few weeks ago in our group chat, maybe a bit on Newscast, that you thought they might go for more popular titles instead of like their homegrown. And this to me is, I didn't know who Joker was, but when he was announced, people were super excited.
I wasn't sure what their strategy would be. This almost confirms to me that we're going to get 5 kind of partnership deals. Like I don't think we'll get any big Nintendo characters at this point, actually. I think I kind of get the vibe that we're going to get... My one, I'm calling it now. I think we're gonna get the Skyrim Dragonborn or something like that. I think that'll be like just with all the partnerships. Obviously, there's a ton of Bethesda games on the Switch now, and I think that would be a good pick. And personally, Elder Scrolls and Smash are my 2 favorite game series of all time. So that would be the dream crossover. I would love to have that. So I really do feel like that has a good chance of happening at this point. I don't know, I'd have to do some research to determine what other partnerships I think it would be. But Persona 5, obviously a character from Persona 5 is a little strange because Persona 5 wasn't on the Switch. It was on PS4 exclusive, I believe.
Yep.
So it's kind of an interesting character to pick. Obviously, kind of breaks open the doors of what exactly are these characters going to be. It doesn't have to necessarily be from Nintendo consoles. So even though I'm talking about this partnership with Bethesda, it doesn't even really might potentially mean nothing. So
it could be Master Chief.
It could be Master Chief, but I mean Xbox would probably be down with that.
Oh, they wouldn't say no. I guarantee you, if Nintendo came to them, they wouldn't say no.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really curious to see how this develops as as a Smash fan. The thing is, like I wanted 2 characters in Smash Ultimate. I wanted K. Rool and I wanted Ridley, and I got this long ago. Yeah. I'm very happy we got all the characters back. So I'm already completely satisfied with this roster. Whoever they add, I'm cool with. Persona 5, obviously I didn't play that game. But the reason I'm pretty hype about this particular character is that, I've seen a lot of praise for this game just from people I follow on Twitter and social media. And everyone was like super stoked to see that. People were really excited. A lot of people I follow in the Smash community, and they were just like, think that's a fantastic crossover. So I was vicariously really excited by seeing all these people who are really hyped about that. Obviously, there wasn't any gameplay, and I love to see the movesets, what they're doing unique with these characters. That's kind of all the new characters in Smash. They've done really unique things with them, so I'm curious to see what Persona does. And I'm really happy for Sakurai on this one, because this is the one character that hasn't been leaked really. And it was the same kind of thing. Ridley and K. Rool weren't really leaked because they announced them so early on in terms of the game's release. And so I think that obviously, I don't know how far along this character is in design, but clearly not far enough for gameplay. So I think it's early enough that there wasn't a chance for any leakers to break this. And so I'm really happy that they got this announcement off with pure hype and not, we saw this in a leak, it's semi-hype sort of thing. So
I'll throw a hashtag Travis told you last week. I was like, I think they might do some games launching next day, and
yeah, it's a good strategy.
that hashtag.
I've never played Persona 5, but I've only heard good things. My one friend Ryan talks about it all the time.
Name dropping Ryan.
Shout out to
Ryan, come on the cast.
He's also a donator to our cause.
Love you, Ryan.
Stream.
The last show, okay.
like
what cause?
Like only cause. But he is, he raves about it, and at one point I definitely, if I had a PS4, it's a game that I would love to try because it seems like it's a...
Love to dab one.
Yeah. You have to have... That game has to be your only game if you're going to play it. The way I hear it, so you got to invest a lot of time into it, so, and that's why I've never... I have a friend, same thing, that just sunk, like, his entire life into it and did everything he could.
Persona?
Yeah.
Well, because it's one of those games, too, where, like, it's based on, like real time. Yeah. So, yeah, it's very easy to sink your teeth into those. Like, Animal Crossing, like... You
gotta be on it every day.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
It's a committed.
You gotta remember. I have to be there on Monday at 6 p.m. kind of thing.
Exactly.
And as someone that has a daughter, those games don't interest me because that's my life right now. So I like being able to pause in the game and come back there. Okay, Kratos is still where I left him on that tree.
But yeah, no, I'm happy to see more content coming our way in the Smash.
You got the fighter pass, right?
I got the fighter pass, yeah, and I still have to figure out how to get my Piranha code.
Yeah, I haven't stopped to look into that yet.
So how do you feel? Because obviously Dylan talked about this like many times for years. They want K. Rool and Ridley. You're the option where obviously you want Waluigi. But how do you feel if these next 5 are just more mainstream? Because like I said, Dylan's like a pig in shit. He's happy. He's fine with whatever they announce. You, who's somebody that maybe wants a few other people, how do you feel if they're kind of more like the partnerships? The Fortnites.
Don't do Fortnite.
I'm not gonna lie. I like
don't.
Smash being the cartoony Nintendo like characters or even like your Pac-Man, your Sonic, or like all those different kind of characters in there. And I always found it to be a little awkward to see so much more detailed characters like your Snake in there.
I'm with you. I don't like
your
it.
Bayonetta. I always
don't
found
like
it to be out of place, and I feel like it doesn't fit with like the Smash Brothers kind of like atmospheric, like with the other characters, and you look at them side by side. Yeah. But that being said, I don't mind if it makes people happy and brings the community together. Then sure, why not? And I'm curious to see what they do. Like, the Minecraft guy, I could see fit in there very well.
I've heard that's been a big leaked rumored one for a long time, but not necessarily a Minecraft character, more just Minecraft content. Like maybe we'll see
a stage.
That's kind of the big one. Maybe like some music tracks in there as well.
Assist trophy.
That would be really cool. So. Yeah, I'm curious if Minecraft will be a character or just get some representation elsewhere, or if that's just a fake rumor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's an easy one to make a fake rumor, right? Because Minecraft's so popular.
No, but it's also there's kind of one guy who has been right on everything he's made has come true, and there's been some weird stuff like Daisy. Like, why would Daisy be a character? He called Daisy, and pretty much all the other newcomers. So
Taylor, you say that you're not the biggest fan, but let's say you have the Sakurai comes to you and you got to pick one non-Nintendo character to put in this game. Who are you putting?
One non-Nintendo character?
Is it
not Assassin's Creed?
I would definitely no, because
Ezio's enter the battle.
I wouldn't want Assassin's Creed. I'm happy with him
being
in Soul Calibur, but it's not something I would want in Smash. If I had to pick, I would probably pick something like, I don't know, go something like really, really like old school. Like go with like
they're not doing that.
Like Frogger, like put the Frogger.
Frogger. What?
Or like
what was that?
Asteroids or Space Invaders. Do like some more Space Invaders stuff or something like that.
Galaga in there.
What's that game just called? Clay Fighters back in the N64, like the Snowman and He had like the spaghetti.
I don't remember that one.
Okay, I really like that.
I don't know, or even like add like Balloon Fighter or something like really really like just wacky that.
They had Balloon Fighter in the form of villagers upbeat. That's all you need.
But yeah, no, I honestly though, if all they have to do to get Phil's attention is drive up in a snazzy looking car to the Xbox headquarters.
Mario Kart.
It has to be snazzy.
Yeah, snazzy Mario Kart. Like, oh, I like your ride there. And then Xbox is hooked.
I'm just picturing that Wario Pitmobile.
That's will be a Forza stage. You'll actually have a Forza car. You'll drive around and you can have attacks.
No.
Then Smash just jump the shark.
I'll take Excite Bike. I don't think I want to force a car.
Anything else to add on Game Awards or any other game news? Because I don't have anything else.
I have
Game
a
Awards.
bunch of small things. Nothing from Game
I got
Awards.
some small stuff too.
Okay, lay it out.
You go first, Dave.
Very upset that there was no Alien reveal of any kind. I'm actually very surprised because they were teasing at that.
Who was
So-
teasing that?
Well, you can't say they tweeted.
Who's they?
So the Game Awards,
And what was
Hideo
the tease?
Kojima went to Fox Studio and he was looking at sculptures of aliens, like the movie and everything like that. And the Twitter account tweeted at it and said "change the world," and that was their hashtag for all this stuff announcing it. So people kind of assumed, oh, there would be a tease. I would too. It's a weird thing to tweet at something, and it didn't happen. So and there's rumors that a game is being made.
Well, maybe
so-
it's not. Maybe it's a Covenant sequel, and they're just fooling us.
Yeah, maybe, but yeah, that did suck, and we didn't get any. While you're talking about non-prediction, we didn't get any Avengers Crystal Dynamics. The Marvel Ultimate Alliance brought that up, but they're still working on that game, and it's Zippo. And the Russos did shit all. We're gonna talk about that in our movie TVs episode, but here they just literally presented an award, you know. So,
My other thing is not VGA related.
it's just GA.
Oh, it's
Remember,
just
it's the game.
GA?
Actually, it's TGA.
TGA.
Well, it's just the Game Awards. I had to inform Brig
The
about
Game
this, too.
Awards, right. So let's start with Battlefront 2. I want to quickly talk about
The DLC Kenobi.
the DLC Kenobi,
Hello
fantastic.
there.
Unlocked them, gave him some, hello there and stuff like that. It's just so
Hello.
great. Geonosis, fantastic map.
That's why I'm here.
I grinded Battlefront as much as I could while I was not like in school or busy with other attachments, and it was so much fun. Grievous and that, it was just so great.
Grieve it.
But they have possibly a new mode for Star Wars Battlefront 2 that's leaked. I think it's currently like called Titan.
Ooh.
And basically it is
Big Max.
I think I never played Battlefield 2142, but apparently it's where like players have to protect or destroy a massive like floating gunship. So I think that's
Okay.
what they're kind of
That's fun.
incorporating
That makes sense.
into this. Either it's a giant star destroyer or like rebel cruiser.
Yeah.
Nice.
And basically, the team manning the turbo laser batteries or ion cannons, and basically you're defending. And then, if I remember, I think it's kind of similar to Battlefront's Death Star mode, where it starts off in space and you're taking down like a Star Destroyer in an outer ship, and then it progresses further to like another defenses, like a trench run, and then it progresses to being actually on foot in this ship. And it's like a
That'd be
course like game mode, which I'm totally down for. I think that's, Star Wars Battlefront definitely has like a good track record right now on like trying to rebuild themselves after all the hate they got. So microtransactions. I'm really happy for them, and honestly, all this map was all it took to get me back into it, and I played so much. So honestly, like I think what they're doing is definitely working, bringing the community back.
Cool. All you got there, Taylor?
Spyro. I'll quickly shove that out too. Absolutely beautiful game. My girlfriend played a bunch of it, and then she's like, "Here, your turn." And I played it, and like, there was one of those challenges where it was like, you had to go around, and there was a train going around this island. You had to blow up like 8 barrels, shoot fire like 8 planes flying around, and then go through like 8 targets. And it was timed, so like when your timer, you get like 8 seconds or 4 seconds every time you destroy one thing, and you have to go through the whole island, get everything, get 100%. And I was getting like frustrated. I did it like over 20 times, and finally I figured out the technique to do it, and I just miss that. Games like Fortnite and stuff, they just hand it to you on a silver platter.
He's been
That was such an unnecessary comment.
ever since the Game Awards. He's been begging on.
Well, I personally,
Actually, no,
find-
since last week because you gave Rainbow Six. That's why now we know. Before we thought it's because you really like Rainbow Six. No, it's because you really despise Fortnite. That's
Personally, I find though, like, I would take like, even compared to like Call of Duty, like the Battle Royale mode, like this like old school games where you gotta like do these kind of like little challenges so much more difficult and so much more like a feeling of accomplishment as opposed to getting like achieving 1 in Battle Royale mode or something like that. Like even Call of Duty, but I love the satisfaction of completing it, and the game just looks so beautiful, and there's so many cool things. I actually, when I was playing it, I went back and I YouTube like the original Spyro and looked at like the difference, and I was like, oh my god, this was actually like what it looked like back then, and what it looks like now is absolutely mind-boggling. So
I'm so excited to play it. I just wish it came out better time.
That's true. I guess probably should have opened with this a little bit, but Smash Bros. Obviously that came out a couple days ago after the Game Awards, and I've been playing it pretty much nonstop. I have all the characters now. Got them all last night. I am loving it so far. It's very similar to Smash Bros. Some of the characters are very identical, but there's just more mechanics, more movement options, more ground options, and the game is just overall like faster. So I'm really enjoying it. The gameplay is really tight, really solid. The new characters, K. Rool and Ridley, I've been waiting 17 years for. Are satisfying. They're so good. They're a lot of fun to play. Inkling as well is a character I thought looked pretty fun and is really fun in game as well. Really interesting movement. I love having all my classics back, Young Link and Squirtle. I'm so glad to play them again. Just kind of started the World of Light, the adventure mode. Just kind of started it last night, so I'm only a couple hours into that. So far, I'm really liking it. It's fun kind of building your character in different ways for each particular fight. And you get a lot of really unique types of battles through that as well, so it's pretty fun. It's not the same as Subspace in terms of like a guided story that you're going on, but it's got pros and cons of its own, and it's really fun so far. I haven't encountered any of the boss battles or additional cutscenes that I've heard might be in there, so I'm not sure. It's a pretty massive map, and after 2 or 3 hours, I've really only touched maybe 15% of it, if less than that possibly. So it's really fun. There's kind of like gyms you can go and train some of your spirits at, and then there's all sorts of ways to teleport across the map. You need to get certain spirits so you can get through certain obstacles on the map, and it's a lot of fun so far. Classic mode it's a little repetitive. It's not. I was expecting a little bit more from it when I was hearing stuff, and like there's this one mini game you play like right before the last boss fight, and so far I've only played through classic mode like 3 or 4 times. So far it's been the exact same one. So that's a little disappointing for me. Even if it was just a basic thing and they just randomized the layout of it, I think that would have been cool, but it's a little similar. But the main thing is the gameplay and the characters, and those are fantastic so far. Tons of stages, so many classics are back, so many new ones, a lot of detail in there.
Yeah.
I don't know when we'll be doing. What do you think, Taylor? What are your overall thoughts? And Travis has actually played a few hours as well, so you guys are loving it as well, I'm guessing.
I biked over to Dylan's house at 11:30.
He was watching the stream and he just couldn't not.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised you just go with Dylan. That's so.
I thought about it, but because my plan was at St. Dale, I was playing Red Dead Online. I kept watching. Like, I gotta go over and play this. And yeah, I'm not as deep into it as they are, but I was up there until 4 a.m. Then I stayed the next day and played some more. Yeah, it was a great time. Love K. Rool. He's one of my favorites. I got Bob 2 times on one-on-one action, but in free-for-alls,
he's great. I
get to pop off with him all the time. He's probably my new favorite of the new ones. I didn't play that many with new ones. I got my ass kicked with Inkling, so I'm not a big fan of that one. But yeah, it's great Smash. Obviously, I know Melee is always like the crown jewel, but I think this is like the best Smash game just because it's like because overall what they have, right? It's ultimate. So yeah, I've had a great time with it.
I definitely have not unlocked all the characters. Unfortunately, I have not been able to put so much time into it. Like, I love the feeling of just turning it on and just there's so much content. I felt overwhelmed. I'm like, to start off, I'm just gonna dive into World of Light. That was my first thing I did just to kind of see what it was all about. Yeah.
The first thing, you didn't go play a match?
I've been excited to see what World of Light was about and just kind of like get to just know it at first because it's the story mode coming back. So I just like chiming into that. It was so awesome and really enjoyed that from what I experienced and just playing around with like the spirits and like kind of like tweaking, like, even looking at like your skill tree for your characters and like the stuff.
Yeah, the skill tree is pretty cool. Actually.
Very cool. Yeah. But I after playing a bit of that, I backed out and just did a few matches and just started unlocking characters consistently, which was nice.
Have any favorites yet? Obviously, you're a big Link fan.
I'm a big Link guy, and
what do you think of his new bomb and stuff?
Oh my god! Like I love using like old Link's bomb just to kind of create like give me kind of like some breathing room between like fighting my opponents. So this new bomb, it's literally I don't have to use it to give me like that kind of second just to kind of like re-ground myself or whatever, get back into the fight. But literally just, there's so many times where like I whip it out and I throw it and it'll bounce off something and I can just time it right when I knock the character back, or like I throw the bomb over and it knocks the guy up and I can just go up and just smack him down. Like it's just, there's so many cool new combos I'm just testing out with it. I'm loving it so much. But it definitely, he feels so much, like I said at the beginning of this cast, like he just feels like a like Brawl's Link a bit more than Smash 4's Link. So I'm just trying to get back into the swing because I really enjoyed Brawl's Link when I kind of got into that mode and got used to it. So I just need to kind of get back into that zone.
Any of the new characters? Have you played any of them?
I haven't played any new characters just because I'm trying to get into like Link's kind of game, like get back into him. But like I played against like the Inklings because I've got them, and I've got like Marth, and I don't think I can't remember who else I got it from that picture I sent, but like the Inklings, I had a hard time against them, just trying to get used to them because their playstyle was definitely unique. Yeah. Like they were all over the place, and
they're hard to nab down just because they're hiding around and stuff.
And I really like how much more amped up the AIs are. Like even fighting like sixes,
the AI is so good.
Sevens, like they're wild. Like holy shit.
We lost a few times against the challenger approaching screens. Like they are solid. I've heard that like a lot of the AI is from like a lot of the Japanese like play testers, like a lot of the players, they just took like combos and stuff that they were doing and just like put them into the AI. So
well, talking to
don't
Ruben,
feel bad if you lose to those challenger approaching because a lot of people are getting bombed.
Even talking to Ruben, he says that he's been getting spiked non-stop by so many of these characters, which is great. But I'm gonna be hooking up my one of my amiibos and seeing how well they fare in there because I gave my amiibo back on Smash 4 like very crazy training. I gave it like I taught it specifically a lot, and even me and Ruben dual team against him solo. Like he's strong. So I wanna see how he fares.
I tried to plug one in, and it's like you need to like register the me or something. It was an arduous process. I was not feeling it. I'm gonna. It's because I was just like in the groove of it, but I want to plug some in and get them playing because you can use the spirits to power them up and change them as well. So
yeah, I think you get rewards too if you connect amiibos.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
What a great game.
Yeah, so I don't know when, or I don't know in what form we'll do some sort of cast. It's hard to review a game like Smash, at least from the way I look at games, but we'll definitely have a cast just on all about Smash, breaking it down within the next week or two, and when Taylor can play some more, and probably after our tournament, whenever that ends up happening. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying that. A few other things. One, we haven't talked about the December PS Plus games yet. Onrush and Soma are the two big ones. Soma is the one of intrigue. It's kind of like a horror game set in kind of like, I guess it's like kind of like an underwater, almost like a BioShock sort of setting, but obviously not the same scale. I've heard really good things of Soma, so I'm excited to download that one and try it at some point. It's a pretty effective horror game from what most people have said about it. Some other stuff. Prey has that second DLC pack coming out next week. It's kind of in the realm of Prop Hunt from Popular Gary's mod, where like everyone, you have like one player and then everyone else is the mimic, so they go around and like, I don't know how big the map is, but you pose as like certain objects and stuff and try to hide, and then the fighter I don't know what kind of tools he has to determine where the mimics are, but he's trying to find like where they're hiding and stuff. So that's always like fun mini game to watch for Gary's mod. So I'm cool. It's gonna be cool to see that in Prey, and that's free for people who have the Moon Crash DLC as well. So I'm gonna be downloading that and trying that out next week. A couple other things. Civ 6 has a really cool DLC coming out called Gathering Storm. It's the reason I bring this up is because it's kind of like a mechanic I've wanted in a Civ game for a while, and it's like there's like essentially like global warming and natural disasters that can occur and stuff like that, earthquakes and volcanoes, and then also as you're building up your Civ, if you're not paying attention to the wellness of the planet and stuff, you can affect things like water levels.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and droughts and things like that. So if you like build your city on like next to a river or something, and you contribute a lot to global warming, it might like raise the sea levels, and like you could get like flooding issues and stuff like that. So those are always like elements I've wanted in Civ games, just as like a simulator, not as like a strategy game, but like just as like the simulator aspect of it. So I'm really excited for that. It's gonna be cool. The Civ DLCs are always crazy overpriced as they release, so I won't be getting it on release. But hopefully they do like some sort of bundle for the Switch later, because obviously the Switch version came out a couple months ago. I'd like to see a bundle with all the DLC whenever that happens. I'll probably pick that up at some point and try that out. A couple other things. Artifacts is one of the new card games on the market. It's kind of inspired from the Dota 2 characters and world, but it looks pretty unique. One thing that was cool about the Elder Scrolls Legends card game was that it had like 2 lanes to it. So you put different characters into different spots, and you have to micromanage like 2 lanes at the same time. This is kind of taking that idea a little bit further. It's kind of like a MOBA where there's 3 separate lanes. You have top, bottom, middle lane. I'm not sure exactly how the wind condition works for that, but it looks pretty unique and pretty fun. And from what I've seen people streaming it, it looks like something unique in the card game realm. Let's see here. One thing that I think I'm going to save for another day is the Epic Games, the creators of Fortnite and such.
Mm-hmm.
They have a new store that they're launching, an online store, so something to rival Steam. On the surface, it seems fantastic. It's offering like better margins for developers, and it's incentivizing people to use their platform. And they have the Unreal Engine, and so there's like any game you sell with the Unreal Engine, they get like a royalty on it. But if you use this service, then they include that with a developer fee. So it's better for developers, and they're offering a lot of like content creator team ups. So the more you're playing a game and you're getting people to play it, you're referencing people, then you get like a cut. You get, I don't know, some sort of, you just get like, I don't know if it's in the form of money or if it's like currency for the service or something. But it seems like really good incentives, and obviously competition is good. It makes Steam more accountable for the things that they do. We kind of talked about this. Me and Briggs talked about this a few casts ago. Discord is kind of launching their store. So we'll save this discussion for when Briggs is on a cast, but it's definitely a good sign.
So is that to compete with kind of the sense where Steam has so many developers that have games that are unfinished and will forever be in like the early access kind of mode? Or?
Well, I think it's just offering developers another platform to release their games on, because you get better margins. Like I have the exact numbers here, but for example, Steam, you get about 65 to 70% of the sales like goes towards the developer, whereas with this service it's around like 88. So it's just like you straight up get better margins. So as long as there's people on the service using it to buy games, then it's just better for the developer on the surface, at least from this article I was reading when they announced it. So yeah, and I don't know, it can be kind of annoying from a PC point of view to have like multiple launchers and keeping track of stuff like this, but overall it's better for the market, and it makes Steam accountable for all the bullshit that they still have as part of their service after all these years, because they've just been in a state of being in a monopoly for so long, right, that they can just get away with doing whatever. So that's why competition is good, of course.